Hey guys, this is Manshark Sub LPs. I'm Sub, this is Crusader Kings II, and this is Millennia in the Making episode 38. We're currently playing as King Ulrich the Great of Bavaria, Pomerania and Bohemia. He's the son of King Ludolf the Great, who himself was the son of King Otto, the amazingly bald, double-chinned, stellar example of a man who we are quite obviously taking after. And King Otto was our original character. We're doing pretty well for ourselves. I mean, this is Bavaria, all of this dark grey in here. And we've got some very valid options for expansion. We're going to swamp East Francia as soon as we can, legitimately. The issue there is that the Carling block is still bigger than the Ludolfinger block, so we need to deal with that in some way. I have no idea what's happening down here in Aquitaine. It's just all over the place. The excuse me. The elective monarchy down there is making it really hard to judge who's going where and all that sort of stuff. It's just odd. And very difficult to manipulate, I must say. Anyway, we are currently in a war. The Bavarian Holy War for Nitra. We're at war with, well, it's us and the King of West Francia against the King of Hungary, the King of Konigata, and the King of Poland. We haven't seen any armies yet. We've just been besieging this nice little place in Trenton as we get the time started. So the bishopric of a temple of Turok. No dinosaurs involved. Yep, so we're just going to... we're monitoring this because if that army shows up, I want to know about it. And there's really not much else to check on at this stage. Our factions are under control. I mean, obviously it would be good if this guy would convert religion, but he won't at this stage. And, yeah, this other guy, why doesn't he like us? Just because he's ambitious, and he wants the Duchy of Saxony. Well, he can get fucked. He's not getting it. But yeah, 2.9% in the first one, 7.3 in the second. It's nothing. There's nothing to worry about there. The religion's going well. The Pope really likes us. Really likes us, and that's because we're both zealous and we're both scholars. And yeah, even though we're fairly lustful, he doesn't care too much about that. He considers other things to be more important. And all but two of our vassals actually like us more than the Pope, with the other... I didn't even know this. With the other two being almost there. And yeah, that's actually really cool. This guy, it would be good for him to like us more, but, you know, that gives us a little bit more money to play around with and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I'm not expecting to get very much going in the way of cardinals. The reason for that is, well, if you look at this, the Lotharingian has the most cardinals in these four up here, because he holds Italy. And if you check here, it gives you a nice little list of, you know, oh, these are how we calculate the points on how to become a cardinal. You can influence it with gold on a one-for-one basis, so if I add 10 points there, you see he gets plus 10 for campaign fund. I just take that out. And you should be able to add and subtract those as much as you want until the vote actually happens for the cardinal sort of thing. Or until he dies or something like that. But if you see here, this guy gets plus 200 just for being Italian culture. Excuse me. Yeah, he's getting 52 gold paid into it, but it's plus 200 for Italian culture? Come on. You know, seriously, guys? And I think the, who becomes Pope is also factored in on that. You see, he's Italian and all that sort of stuff. Whatever. This guy died. Okay. He held this little county over here. I'm not quite sure why we got that message. Might have had something to do with the fact that we're currently allied in a war with the West Francian. And the Duke of Carinthia is still throwing his vote around like a drunken man throws around his money at a bar. And that was kind of an extended analogy, which might not have made too much sense. That's alright. So yeah, this war should actually go fairly well for us. I wouldn't have declared it if I thought it wasn't going to. We do have to, you know, pay a bit of money for it. We're not losing money, but we're not making as much money as we could. But, you know, opportunity cost, that's a thing. And we do want it to be over quickly, though, just because then I can change the succession laws in Bohemia. This woman died. She must have been educating one of my children in spying. So, Elizabeth, let's educate you properly in intrigue. Done. Got that little thing in my throat again. That's what she said. Alright, my half-brother is now a mastermind theologian. That's great. He is ambitious, so that's a bit of an issue. He does hold some titles. We could order him to take the vows, but we're not going to. We're just going to keep him around. You know, it's not a big deal. We could really do with a better chancellor, though. Why is this guy so shit all of a sudden? Do we have a better one in the ranks? Not really. Our best chancellor is my imbecile nephew. Somehow. That's amazing. So we're not going to fire the Duke of Tyrol because that would make him be a little bit, you know, pissy towards us for firing him. That's how the world works. Okay, we've successfully taken Turok. Wonderful. Now we're going to head on over to Ava and besiege the crap out of it. Okay, we're apparently plotting to kill somebody. For heir to East Francia, of course. So, manure explosion. The classy way to get killed. Now, why are they trying to kill this guy? Heir to the barony of Tecklenburg. 48. 38. I guess he's next in line? No. Maybe one of his sons is. Or is he trying to murder his son? That's weird. He shouldn't be able to do that, actually. So we're going to tell him to stop doing it. But, we can't plot. You can't plot against your children. You can plot against your grandchildren or your brothers and all that sort of stuff, but you can't plot against your children. Which is really irritating when you have a very bad heir and, well, you want to get rid of him. You've got to pay the money to assassinate him, which never really works out too well. Or you can order him to take the vows now, which is wonderful. Well, you killed Kunigund Karling. There is no trace of my complicity to be found amongst the rubble. She went out with a bang. So, next on the list is Clara Karling. And then following that, Agnes Babinger. Now, there was something going on here. Now, we definitely did this for a reason. I think we matrilineally married Agnes Babinger to somebody. Yep, we betrothed her. So that's fine. We're going to attempt to assassinate Clara Karling. Should be fairly easy, and we want to get her killed before she manages to breed with the King of Brittany. So, invite everybody. This might make Brittany annoyed with us a little bit over here. That's alright. I'm not particularly worried about Brittany. It'll also piss off the Carlings if they find out, but hey, that's an advantage, isn't it? Spy Master died. Count of Nuremberg. That's alright, because we have a replacement. Oh. This is the guy who doesn't like us because we're a heretic. But he wants to be spy master. Oh, see, this is a decision, a very tough decision to make, you see. If we make him spy master, we'll need to convert his religion. We might be able to convert his religion, but people get an opinion penalty for having a converted religion. So we're actually going to give it to Adam here, because Adam would also like to be spy master, and he's got a pretty good, you know, there we go, 18 intrigue, that's fine. And straight down to Constantinople. There's an army. We really do not want to attack them where they are right now, because that is mountains. So, we're just going to let them do their little siege thing. I think we're going to be faster, just. But we're going to intercept reinforcements and all that sort of business. Because I don't want them to be bigger than me. Under any situation. Even if I'm not attacking them. Okay, 1.8 war score, that's fine. Someone died of depression. Wonderful. Let's see, 17th and 18th. Okay, so we're going to catch these guys. That's fine. And, oh, this is actually... Nope, that's fine. What was happening here is the West Francian is going to move into Gamor on the 19th. If the Hungarian and Connegarden armies were going to intercept them, what I would do is wait for them to intercept them and order the move into the mountains. Because that way we would still get the mountain defensive penalty because we're reinforcing the defensive force. It's fine. My son is fucking phenomenal. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Okay, so we need to marry him and then land him. That's fine. So he's getting a prestige penalty for having a landless son. We could soak it. You know, it's better for him to have land and by that getting prestige and piety of his own. So, Prince Leudolf of Bavaria needs to marry somebody. And actually marry somebody, not be betrothed to somebody. So let's find a nice 16-year-old girl for him. The King of Wessex, that would be. Count of Schwaben. I should be looking at stats here, not alliances. So this one here, Lerflad, is pretty good. She's, you know, Midas touched, so that's a lot of children, and she's got universally positive stats. She has a very high stewardship, which bolsters his above average stewardship, but he needs somebody to bolster his learning and his intrigue. Or diplomacy. Which brings us to this lovely lady, Mare di Cantabria. She has 24 diplomacy, and not much anything else, but, you know, we could work with that. Bad alliance, though, and we'd probably lose a lot of prestige getting her. Nope, it was this one here, wasn't it? Yeah. Because she's just a courtier. At most, she's the son of a count, or the daughter of a count. Let's not project too much there, huh? And just looking at the stats as we go up. Oh, Marquesa here could be a good one. It's only a baron. Like, we only get an alliance with the Baron of Loire, so we'd definitely lose prestige. But she has the strong genetic trait. And, again, pretty much universally positive stats. A little bit of intrigue, that's alright. And a little bit of diplomacy, so that's also good. Let's have a little bit more of a look just up a little bit to see if there are any more genetic traits. You can always tell genetic traits out because they come directly after the career trait, and they're shaped like a little heart. Let's see. See, there's one right there, but that's a negative one. It's shaped like a little blue heart. Yeah, we're getting up in age too much there, so let's head back down and find the strong girl again. Marquesa. And Yeah, see, we don't lose 200. Ludolf loses 200, but he'll get that back. Yep, yep, wonderful. He would prefer a matrilineal marriage, but tough. So we'll get that back in a couple of weeks. As we wander around Hungary, murdering people. It's literally what we're doing. I think this West Francian is just coming to back us up, which would be handy. It'd elevate our troop levels to, what, 9,200? Okay, we could collect 85 gold or gain 200 prestige ourselves. We don't need the prestige, we need the gold. So, Marquesa Diaz has arrived at court. Wonderful. And now what we do is we say to our son, well, you don't have any land. You should have some land to just look after. So we'll give him the barony of Karlstein. Actually, no. No, we were going to give him the county of Plauen. And... not Plauen. What am I thinking? I want to give him Praha. Why can't I give him Praha? Huh, that's odd. Well, I'll give him the barony of Karlstein. Done. Why can't I give away Praha? That's bizarre. I should be able to give away... Oh, right. Because of Gavelkind. Because the Kingdom of Bohemia is under Gavelkind succession, I can't give away the county of Praha, because currently that county goes to Lothair if I die, instead of to Prince Ludolf. And if I were to give it straight to Prince Ludolf, I'd be subverting Gavelkind and trying to game the system terribly, and the game doesn't let you do that. Which is kind of fair enough, I guess. Are we going to suffer attrition? Nope, good. Yeah, 9,200, very nice. Looks like we're going to miss them because they started moving faster or something for some reason. Ah, they were moving to a different place. That's alright, let's go back and continue some sieges. We do have the numbers to chase these guys out, it's just... it's not great, sort of thing. We'd be engaging them on a mountaintop, and I don't particularly want to engage anybody on a mountaintop. So we're going to go to this mountaintop and of Ava, and just sort of take that place. See how we go with it anyway. So we're probably going to lose these occupations here unless we attack over. Let's see, 6% at 70% total, and yeah, 7.3 at 100. He'll definitely take that before we do. So, fuck it. Let's go beat him up. We could put Ludolf in charge of the army, but we're not going to because it would be, well, it would risk our heir. I think I'm fine with the current military leaders of this army. I'll get there on the 1st of May. And then we'll see just how proper fucked we are. My niece is of legal age. She is Midas touched. Wonderful. There's probably nobody that we can really marry her to. We don't get any alliances for marrying her off because she's our niece, not a direct relative sort of stuff. So it's kind of pointless. A little bit. We have a claim on the Duchy of Benevento. Where is that? Down here. Really? To this woman, though. We wouldn't get that under our hegemony if we were to press it, just because, well... she doesn't own any land in what we have at this moment. So it's kind of one of those pointless ones where you don't particularly want to press them because it's just a load of effort. Our Chancellor has managed to impress the King of Lotharingia to almost max. That's wonderful. So we're going to reassign where our Chancellor is. Oh, let's see. East Francia. I don't care about you. I want to see your allies. So he's only got 2 allies at this stage in time, Lotharingia and West Francia. That's fine. They're the only 2 Carling kings that are left, though Lotharingia has 3 king titles, and both of them would back me instead of him. So I think it's actually time to send our Chancellor to fabricate some claims. But he has a very low chance of doing that. I'm sorry, Duke Karl, but we're going to replace you. Are we? Nah, I don't particularly want to. No. But we're not really going to be able to fabricate claims either, just because that is such a low chance. Because he has a, you know, he's all right being a diplomat, but he's no Neville Chamberlain. So we're just going to assign him to somewhere else. Let's have a look at my ally list. Yeah, so we don't have the Byzantine as our ally anymore. And all of our allies actually like us a fair amount. Not that we can call most of them in because they're allies in our realm. So let's check our vassals. The Duke of Brunswick doesn't like us. And he's really the only one who matters at this stage. So Brunswick. He's reigning in Lundberg. Oh, he's my idiot nephew. So we'll just send Duke Karl to Lundberg and see how that goes. Battle's on. They've got a massive defensive boost, but we outnumber them, and we out tactics them as well. I mean, and the King of Hungary is there, so yeah, we're winning pretty much everywhere. We do have a slight morale drop in our center and right flanks, but that shouldn't be an issue because we've broken one of their flanks. We did just lose the Count of Anhalt, which is good actually because he was leading one of these factions and because the flank he was, you know, dealing with. Well, let's just check this. 15 war score, 40 prestige, 20 piety, 2 military tech. Pretty good. And yep, Humbert has taken over that flank. That's fine. And we're just going to chase the armies down into Gamor. Anyway, it was a good thing that the Count of Anhalt died because he was leading that faction against us, and his successor is actually quite amiable to us. Yes, quite nice. And she's also pregnant and strong. Good on her. We're still getting this inheritance warning from the chief of Upper Cilicia. There's a Konrgarden army there, moving into Teschen. Will they catch them? No. They're not going to catch the West Francian reinforcements. I don't know why the West Francian reinforcements are coming from up here. For some reason he's shipping his troops up to the northern coast here and moving them down. It's probably the fastest way, if you've got the ships for it, but it seems a little complicated. There we go, a victory in Trenton, because we got attacked by a little tiny army. And we're continuing to rout these guys. Right in the face. No big deal. Little bit of war score. They're moving into the mountains, but that will not save them. And our actual war score is coming up nicely. 45% is pretty good. But he won't accept peace because, you know, reasons. What I'm hoping is that we capture the king or something. That would be just great. It would end the war nice and quick. A little bit of everything, no big deal. You don't get a lot for routing people. Oh. You just don't get a lot for doing it because, well, you're chasing down a like a couple of guys who you are definitely going to defeat. The main goal of doing the little routes and chasing the fleeing enemies is to just destroy their armies. So that's all good. Let's go back up to besiege Ava. This army is besieging Teschen, which isn't great because they'll probably succeed at that. So we might attack over into it. It's only forest terrain, so, you know, it's alright. And we don't have a river crossing or anything like that, so it's not a bad idea. Just to get rid of the army. Because let's see, 7.1 and he's going at 7.2, so yeah, he's definitely going to get that first. So let's defend our lands. And hey, the quicker we beat up these guys' armies, the quicker we win the war. He is only an ally in this war, so he won't give us too much in the way of war score. Oh, there we go, the... Wait, what's happened here? What? What has happened here? Did he form? Oh, okay. I think this guy has become the Duke of Chernigov, which is this little place here. And due to that, he's become part of Poland. Well, that's both irritating, but it also takes a little bit of an issue out of... Well, it's irritating. It's just flat out irritating because now our next war with Poland will be to take that place back. So it's annoying. Also because I think we currently have a truce with Poland. I think that's Poland there. Yeah, it is. In 7 years, so we won't be able to reclaim that. It's annoying. I'm annoyed by it. Oh, these guys are going to move off. That's fine. Resume the siege of Arvavera. He's also involved in the war, so we could go over there and just beat the shit out of him for the fun of it. But it wouldn't really do much for us. So, you know, bugger it. Let's unpause the game, subby, and keep going. The defenders of Arvavera executed captives on the walls, which has strengthened our resolve, or something. That's fine. Technology. Still marching on towards military organization. We'll definitely be ahead when we get it, but that ahead penalty is getting reduced. So even as we're accumulating points, we're also lowering the cost. My king, the more I study the fratres... Okay, this is an event because we've got our chaplain researching cultural tech. He's activated the A Heretic Find one. The more I study the Fraticelli religion, the more I feel compelled to embrace it and to show you the wisdom that lies in these texts. I have sent you excerpts from the most interesting parts. I urge you to follow my example and embrace the Fraticelli religion. For those of you who don't know, the Fraticelli religion is a Catholic heresy. So yeah, you can see here he's now Fraticelli. Now there is some... It's basically a different strand of Catholicism. There's no big difference in how it works, though it does give us a little blurb there that the Fraticellis are very devoted to poverty and asceticism, especially for priests. If we conquer Rome as a Fraticelli, we could create the Fraticelli papacy, so we basically turn the heresy into the main branch of a religion, and they can do everything that the Pope can normally do. So we can either become Fraticelli ourselves, or he is mad! Arrest him! Do we have any better chaplains? No, we could make Walram our chaplain, which we probably will do, just because. And that would put him up to the same level. Arrest him. So yeah, he no longer becomes our chaplain because we arrested him. And he does get an opinion malice against us because we have imprisoned him and because he's a heretic. We can say, just convert back, bro. and he will probably do it, and when he finishes that, he will be released. However, we do require a court chaplain, so we'll just give it to Walram. And we really don't need to proselytize anywhere, so cultural tech again in Oberbayern. No dramas. I think we're going to win this siege here before this guy does. Events notwithstanding. Because the siege event could just mess that up for us. And yeah, he's converted back to the Catholic faith, and he likes us at 100% again. Though you can see we get a -10 for demanding his conversion, which isn't actually as big as I thought it was going to be. We got raided, so that's a negative siege event for us. We may not be able to take this place before this guy does now, but whatever. We'll get a lot more war score out of this than he does out of that, and our first thing will be to go and beat him up. Yeah, they're just raiding us quite successfully today. Oh well. Nothing for it. We'll be fine. The Shallands, the country of Shalland seems to get a lot of rebellions. Not exactly sure why. I mean, they're all Norse and that's all fine. There is a well, that's not a revolt, that's an army. Who are they attacking? Tripoli. Tripolitan. Wow, they are so far from home. Yep, our resolve has been strengthened. Okay. Yeah, these guys are definitely going to take Teschen before we take Avavara. It's alright. Doesn't matter. The point is, we're going to win this war. There's no doubt about that. And our money is coming up quite nicely. Let's see if we've got anything to spend it on. Could get a barracks or a stables in Andex. Just look at that. From Munchen, we get over 2,000 troops alone. That is just phenomenal. We could also improve something in Wittelsbach. You know, we might just build castle fortifications in Wittelsbach just to, get a bit of cycling going there. There's the King's Army. The Hungarian King's Army. They are moving to besiege Trenton, apparently. They will just have enough men to do it. Well, instead of coming up here and kicking this guy in, though he might be moving up to do Trenton itself, not Trenton, Teschen. Very similar names. And if he does that, then we'll just have to deal with it. Yeah, so they might just be trying to stack troops there. That's fine. I won't care too much if that's what they're doing. No, it looks like he's besieging that place. Wonderful. That's what we want him to do. Because even though he'll be defending in mountains, we outnumber him by well over 10 to 1. Although what might happen is, if this guy wins his siege, which he'll do in the next 12 days, my half-brother wants a fief of his own. He is not ready. So he'll probably get a little opinion malice there. Not yet. Oh well. Yep, we lost Trenton. That's fine. And now they're moving into Saxe, while the Polish army continues to besiege Jablaskow. That's cool. It's fine. I don't mind that at all. We can actually attack into Saxe very easily, if we are required to. And we will probably do that after this siege, if he sits there, because otherwise he'll just come down and occupy Arpa, and then we'd be attacking a 3,000 strong force in mountains again, which is something we want to avoid doing. Not that we would lose such battles, but just because it's an unnecessary waste of men. So, in the next 12 days, we'll get this castle. And this place down here, that's siege winning. They have no chance of getting anywhere near winning that siege. Okay, so we're not going to get to there quick enough. So go down here and beat up the king. He is also going to move out, but I am in favor of him moving out. Once he does, we will stop our movement, so on the 14th. Come on. There he goes. And yeah, he's planning to move back up here and besiege the one with, only 97 men behind it. That's alright, because now we're planning on moving down to him. He's trying to evade, but he cannot do it. We will catch him with 4 days to spare. Just got a bunch of siege messages. When you're doing these little maneuverings, you get a bunch of, oh, our holding is under siege, our holding is under siege, our holding is under siege, because they are constantly moving up and setting back down and that sort of thing. There we go. We just wiped out that army, it's fine. And we're going to come up here to Teschen. And then take back, the citadel of Teschen. Ava will hold. Mainly because nobody appears to be moving for it at this stage in time. We're not paying much attention to what's happening down here. Nothing is, which is fortunate. Or up here, though when we're zoomed in here we can still sort of see up here. We just can't see down here. A worry is if they take all their armies and just move them through around here. I mean, it's not going to be so much of a concern because the focus of the war is right here in Nitra. But that's just something to be aware of. You want to zoom out occasionally just to check what's happening. We're getting really close to being able to afford either castle infrastructure or improved keeps. And it will probably be improved keeps. It's a bit of a lazy tech increase because it only gives you the fortification, the next level of fortifications, which are the 75 gold buildings. And they're just the ones that, wow, my slow son has become a detached priest. That's fine. But he can now marry his betrothed, Euphemia Wilhelmiden, the heir to the Duchy of Austria. Which is something we want to do. So in 6 days we'll get the message saying, yes, of course, that's fine. There we go. Now, the reason we did that originally is that when she inherits the Duchy of Austria, because her dear old... Hang on a second. Oh, right, because then we were going to assassinate this kid. Yes, that's exactly what we were going to do. We were going to assassinate Duke Adolf. But there are some other assassinations which aren't going too well, apparently. We're just over 50% shy, so if we bribe 2 people, we should be able to get it. 76. Alright, fine. This is important. It's us murdering Carlings. And then we just say, hey, you really should join in on this whole thing. And 43. This is another reason that you just have money lying around. Because then you can use it for stuff like this instead of having to save up. Those castle fortifications got built in Wittelsbach. That's fine. We're actually going to assault this place. Yeah, 6 men, and we just sped it along quite significantly, and then move back into Ava for the easy sieges of Rozahegi, Liptovsky Maluka, Mikulas, and Nemetlich. I do not apologize for mispronouncing anything. We are getting the little message that we've got an unlanded son, and we do. We're just not going to give him anything at this stage. We're hoping that he has a daughter. Fortunately, the detached priest career trait doesn't give him negative fertility. And, well, she's chaste, so that's another issue. But she's also attractive, so, you know, come on. Do your thing. Because they need to make a son for my inheritance plot to go ahead. Yeah, you know what? We're going to assault this place as well. No dramas. Yeah, we're just going to assault our way all the way through these places. Are these guys moving in? We'll wait for the West Francian to get here just to give us a little bit more numbers. There we go. Go for it. And maybe he loses troops and I don't. Win-win, really. And we're just going to snap that place down. Wonderful. We've completely occupied Ava. How we doing, Kingy? No. Still just a flesh wound, apparently. Whatever you say, champ. Whatever you say. And we'll be besieging Gomor to make up that last little bit of war score that we need, because it has... Well, the garrison... Well, the citadel of Gomor here only has about 500, whereas the citadel of Nitra has close to 1500. So it would be quicker for us to just take Gomor. Now, I've gotten a message that Altmark is under siege, and it certainly is. The Polish forces have come up here and decided to sneak in and try and, you know, besiege the place. Don't care. Just seriously do not care. The Byzantines are having a little holy war for Solano, which I think is somewhere down here. Yes, they're attacking probably this guy, I'd say. Yeah, part of a Baton Sultanate, which is actually most of Tunisia. Interesting. Yeah, so the Polish are just moving armies around. That's fine. I don't particularly care too much. We'll have this siege done, and then we'll have our nice little quick sieges for Lysonsk and Dobsina, and we'll just take those. And you know, this war has actually taken up most of the episode. Apparently they're just finding people and either offing them or something. We're just going to have to abandon this plot. It's not going anywhere. Bit of a shame because we wasted money on it, but whatever. Oh, she's the Queen of Brittany now? Oh, and she's had a child. It's this kid. He's sickly. He's not very easy to assassinate. And yeah, she's not easy to assassinate at all. Neither is he. Alright. Well, we had another plot that we wanted to do. It's going to be quite easy. Let's hope we don't get discovered in this one. It's not as bad as it could be, but we're going to try not to get discovered because it's an assassination within our realm. Our nephew is a charismatic negotiator and is actually a better diplomat than the Duke here, though the Duke has upgraded his skill at some point, so we'll just leave him there. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Adolf. Now, if Adolf was a Ludolfinger, well, to start with, we wouldn't be doing this plot or this grand scheme because we like Ludolfingers. But because he's a Wilhelmidian, we'll probably get a dishonourable penalty if we're found, but it won't be too significant. Like, we won't be a Kingslayer or anything. My beloved niece, Inge, is concerned that she is still not married. I will find her someone nice. We don't have to worry about her claims because they will not be inherited unless they're pressed. So we'll just marry her somewhere. We could marry her to the Duke of Orleans. He's a Carling. While we despise the Carlings, getting men on the inside, or women as the case is, can be quite beneficial. He's the only one though. We don't get an alliance from him either. We do get a little opinion boost, I think, but no alliance. You know, fine. No, fine. Take her. She's not important to me. She's, you know, a niece. They're getting a really quick siege up here. That's annoying. But they can have that siege and do whatever they want. I'm gonna take this place. The Count of Nuremberg has changed hands yet again, probably due to an assassination. Who knows? Our Chancellor is our only weak point in the stat array of our councillors. It'd be nicer if our half-brother here could like us a little bit more, but we're not going to pay him money for the honour of liking us a bit more. We might just make him Keeper of the Swans. That's fine. Everything else seems to be going alright. There are 2 Shalland revolts, or is it only one? Nope. To begin with, the Shalland king is defending against the King of Denmark, or the King of Skane, who wants to take all of Denmark. He's defending against a revolt for somebody else's claim on Shalland, and a second revolt for somebody else's claim on Shalland. He's not having a good time. What I wouldn't mind doing is going up there and interrupting some things and taking some of those places, but you know what? It's fine. Duke of Carinthia is doing exactly what he's been doing all this time. And yeah, we lost the Siege of Tertian. That's alright. They've got to now besiege the city, Jablonska, and then the bishopric of Oswicom, unless they move out, which they might do. Interestingly, there's a revolt in Poland. Somewhere. But I see revolutionary forces here, but I'm not sure what they're involved in. It might be a ducal thing instead of an actual kingdom thing. If a revolt happens in a duchy instead of in a kingdom, or if a revolt happens to the vassal of an independent character, then you don't see separate realms forming like you are up here in Shalland. You just see the troops turn up and all that sort of stuff. That's fine. He's moving down to Ava. I'm not terribly concerned by that. The Pope's sending us money. That's 1, because the Pope likes us so much, and 2, because we're, you know, awesome. Okay, Sigmund wants to kill Eirik Arabon, but he hasn't showed up in the thing here, so... You should probably stop that, though. You're already a kinslayer. No, we can't actually tell him to stop it. Why is that? Because he's in Passau, which is there. He might have already been told to stop that by his father, who would have worked out, hey, you know, this guy is plotting to kill somebody else, so stop it. In which case, fine, whatever. I would definitely like to get this war done by the end of the episode. We've still got about another 5-6 minutes. Good, we've got the assassination going ahead with the Duke of Austria. Hopefully we don't get found out. But yeah, I'd like to end this. Ooh, there's the Polish revolt that we're looking for. Against the tyranny of the king. That's good for us. It means that we can take some of Lesser Poland here. If we get this war over and done with. Oh, but more importantly, I've just worked something out. This guy is the leader of a Polish revolt. So, we can take back this county if we so wished. Once we're done with this war. And lowered our vassal, or not our vassal levies, we haven't raised vassal levies for years. Lower our personal levies. But speaking of levies, we could upgrade our jousting lists. We're not going to upgrade those, it's massively expensive and not all that important. What we are going to upgrade are our barracks in Andex. That's fine. I'm just trying to get this thing done. Wonderful. Well, we killed the Duke Adolf. Unfortunately, the assassin was caught and my complicity was discovered. We could imprison the mayor for doing it, but whatever. Let's see what that has done. So yeah, -10 for dishonorable, it looks like. Let's order them by rank just to see if anybody important. The Duke of Brunswick still doesn't like us, but he's never liked us. The Duchess of Austria doesn't like us because, well, that was her brother. Everybody else doesn't give a shit. So the importance there is now, when these two finally have a son, he will be a Littlefinger, and therefore the Littlefingers will control Austria. Assuming they have a child. If they don't, it goes to Humbert here. And that has freed up our plotting ability yet again. So let's just check out the East Francian again. Agnes Babinger is the one we want to get in, but unfortunately, the king himself is pretty much unkillable at this stage. Princess Clara is very unkillable, and Halori Baldwin here is also pretty difficult to just off. Yeah, so not having a very good intrigue stat is definitely penalizing us here. But let's check out Lotharingia's stuff. No, king's hard to kill. We do want to kill that king at some point, just because then his realm gets split between his two daughters. I think. I wonder who Bernard Carling is. Is that one of his... Nobody who's still alive, that's for sure. Yeah, we could quite easily kill both of these kids. Well, one of them at least, but we don't want to kill both of them. Well, if we kill them, we want to kill both of them and not just one, because at the moment they should split their realm all up over the place. Which is what we were trying to do there. What about West Francia? I know he's an ally, but he's still a Carling. We don't want to kill him. And there's really, yeah, really not much in the way of... Who's next? Charles and then Guillaume. This guy must have sons. Yeah, he does. Yeah, not important. Not worth dealing with. Well, we've almost taken this place. Really hoping that does throw us over the limit so that we can just declare victory. Oh, our Marshal has increased the levy reinforcement rate in Oberbayern. That's good. Yeah, we're getting really close to the end of the episode, and I don't want to come back and have the same damned war being fought. Now, he knows he's losing. We're just going to attack this place. Okay, we're at 92. Will you accept a defeat? Nope. We're going to attack this place as well. Take a few more casualties in doing this one. We did have a faction form just there, and that's 99%. Come on! Oh my god. Alright, so we're just going to move out and take Teschen or something back. That would actually win us the war. Let's have a look at that faction. 4.7. Not caring. Okay, so we're going to continue until we win this war, unless something really bad happens, like our army gets wiped out, or they start reoccupying their lands, or something lame like that. So yeah, we're just heading up here and we're going to quickly assault the Citadel of Teschen because it doesn't have a lot of men left in it. And that should give us 100% war score, which we can use to force victory. So on the 10th, we'll get there. There we go, and just assault the place. Bang, 100% war score. We get piety, Catholics get moral authority, Tengris lose it, and we get nitra. Done. And now we put down these guys and order them to move to... Let's see. Where's the river crossings? Latmaresian Boleslav. So we send these guys to Appelin for our planned move into Upper Cilicia. Next. We got enough time to deal with shoving these titles around, so we got a lot of titles. We're 10 over. And we're holding a lot of wrong titles. So, do the usual trick where we just create new vassals from thin air. All of them good German Catholics. Come on. There we go. I hit the right button there. And there we go. Lovely. Unfortunately, none of those were baronies, so all of this needs to be given to somebody. We could also just create a duchy there. I wonder, what are they currently running under? Gavelkind. Yeah, Hungary has to be Gavelkind at the moment because Tengri is an unreformed pagan religion. You know, Lothar here wanted a title, didn't he? He technically has one right now because he's Duke of Austria. But let's also give him a title over here. Say, oh, Nitra's changed its name to Nutra. Let's give him that. Well done. Our sons are 13 and 13. Okay, well, we're going to do a little bit of trickery here, in that we're going to get Bohemia up, and we're going to change its succession law to elective. Okay. And we've just changed that, like we don't have to put it to a vote or anything like that. We're going to nominate Ludolf, of course, as the successor. I think only we have the vote there, so that's good. And we're also going to give Praha to Ludolf. We can do that now, because it's no longer subverting Gavelkind. That's given us one county over the limit. We want to get rid of, I think, Gemar, which has changed names quite nicely. We want to get rid of Gemar, so we'll find a nice German Catholic. We've got 2 minutes to do this in, guys. Walram wanted a fief of his own, didn't he? Yeah, sure, whatever. He can have Gemar. Done. He's technically left my court. So we're going to appoint the Bishop of Liptovsky Mikulis as our chaplain, and he's researching cultural tech. Now, the reason why I've held on to Trenčín and Awa isn't because they're great places. I mean, they kind of are. Don't get me wrong there, particularly Trenčín. But the reason why I've held on to those is because in 3 years, the twins will become of age, and we're going to give one of them Trenčín and the other one Awa. And we can hold on to those because now we're at our demence limit. And that'll kind of be a nice little... Oops, do not want to do that. It'll be a nice little, you know, the mountain twins sort of thing. It's kind of a role-playing thing, I guess. But we better pull this one up and finish the episode. So if you've got any questions, feel free to ask them, no matter what they're about. Hopefully involving the game in some way. Though, you know, I'll field any questions. I'm not too picky there. If you have any comments about how I'm going about things, or, you know, whatever, leave them below. Like the video if you liked it, and throw us a subscribe if you'd like to see more. So, yeah. I've been Sub. You've been yourselves. Later.